If an autistic person loves you, I'm speaking from my personal experience as well as what I've learned from other people's experiences, what people have talked about, what they've shared of their experience, and what I've learned from it. So take what I say with a grain of salt. It may work for you, it may not work for you. You might find it true in your personal dealings, you may find it not necessarily true. That's completely fine. So the first thing I want to say about the topic is when it comes to love, there's generally an accepted framework from which we can talk about expression of love, which is the love languages. Gary Chapman's love languages. If you haven't read any of his books, I would encourage you to read one of them. Although I do hope that they come up with a love languages for neurodivergent people. But what I've learned about these love languages, and if you don't know what love languages are, they're basically just that the idea that every single person has certain ways in which we need to express love, and that includes the ways in which we need to show love to others and what we need to receive from others in order to feel loved by others. Okay, so and there are 5 of them. There's physical touch, there's words of affirmation, there's gift giving, there's quality time, and there's acts of service. Okay, so different people have, for some reason, they they show love or they feel loved by giving or doing one of these things or receiving one of these things. People generally expect that, okay, if you're going to look at the love languages, then once we know our love languages, then that's it. One of the things you have to realize with neurodivergent people is that neurodivergent people are just like neurotypical people, with a twist, if you can put it that way. What I mean is, when it comes to this issue, I'm talking about with this issue, not in general. When it comes to this issue, neurodivergent people also engage in, like, we also show and receive love using the love languages. Like, the love languages is true for us neurodivergent people. However, we put a twist on things. So when it comes to physical touch, you might need a specific kind of physical touch rather than just physical touch at all. We may need you to touch us in some, in some situations, and not touch us in some other situations. We may touch you in some situations to show love to you, and not in some other situations, right? If we're going to give you, if we're going to spend quality time with you, it doesn't mean we're going to sit down there and, talking and gisting and doing everything together. It means that maybe we need you to just sit down there doing your own stuff, maybe playing a video game or reading a book, while we're sitting here reading our own book and we're not talking to each other, but we're just in the same space. It could be that, and that is going to make us feel very loved. It could be that when it comes to gift giving, if we're going to give you a gift as neurodivergent people, if we're going to give you a gift, we're going to make sure we personalize the gift. We're going to think about the gift for like hours. I'm talking about tens and hundreds of hours before we settle on a particular gift, and we put a lot of thought into it. Even if we're going to give you something as simple as a card, we're going to make sure we personalize it, and we're going to make sure we just put a lot of love into it and write our own special note in it and design it in our own special way. Even if the card is already pre-designed, we might need to add our own extra design to it and all of that. Stuff like that. Acts of service. If we're going to do acts of service, for a lot of us, yours truly does not like anything domestic. When it comes to domestic work, chores, things of that, because they're just so mundane and they're really boring and they hurt my brain and they really hurt me inside. Let's say you have somebody like me who doesn't really like anything domestic. But if you were to make it known that acts of service in a certain way is important to you, is one of the things that will make you feel loved. They want to show you love. You said you would like if they will make you a cup of tea. They're going to make you a cup of tea because they want to please you, not because they really like cup of tea. And they're going to make it known, like, I hate cooking, but because I want to please you, I want to make you happy, and I want to make you know how I care about you, I'm making you this cup of tea. Now, they might not say all the things I just said, but they will make you that cup of tea. And when they make it for you, it might be horrible. It might taste, it might be too strong, it might be too weak. They might overwhelm it with milk, they might do it in a way that you don't like, but behind them making you that cup of tea because you said you would like it, they would make you a cup of tea every morning, then you would know already that they're doing this because they want to please you. Which then brings me to my next point, which is that sometimes you have to speak about it and you have to let them know. Okay, you have to let them know. And it's not unsexy, because again, society has made us just, I don't know why society would do this to us. And it's that belief that if you're emotionally linked with somebody, then automatically they're supposed to know how you think, they're supposed to know what you think, they're supposed to know how you feel, and what they're supposed to do to make you feel better. They're just supposed to know automatically. No, we're all human beings. Sometimes you can be in sync, like mentally, emotionally, you can be in sync. You can be compatible in certain areas, and it will be as if both of you know how you think and all of that. And you can learn to know how the other person thinks, but you're not supposed to be mind readers, right? Like, I think we need to get this out of our psyche. I think society has to do better in terms of teaching children as they grow up that the person you're with has to automatically be able to read your mind, has to automatically know what you like and do it to perfection before it means that you're meant to be together. It doesn't mean that. It doesn't work that way in life. And when we understand that, then we need to know that we have to speak and we have to say, look, this is what is in my mind. This is what is hurting me about what you're doing. And I would like it. It would make things a lot easier for me. It would make things a lot less painful and frustrating for me if you would stop doing this thing, or if you would begin to do this thing. And then give them grace. Especially if they listen, give them grace and allow them to actually show that they heard and that they're actually making an effort if there's a change in their behavior. Sometimes we could be doing things in relationships and we could be trying to show you love in certain ways that make meaning to us, but make zero meaning to you. And sometimes could even be frustrating to you because it doesn't matter to you in any way. And then you feel like they don't love you, or they're not showing you love and affection in a way because you're not seeing it given to you in the way that you know how to receive it. And it's it's in situations like this that you have to open your mouth and actually talk, right? And tell them, be grateful for all the ways in which they've shown you love and the fact that they love you, but these are the ways in which I like to receive love, right? These are the ways in which, if you were to act in these ways, it would make a lot of sense to me, it would make meaning to me, and it would make me feel loved. And then ask them, what are the things you would like me to do to make you feel loved? And then they can talk about it. Most times, it's very likely that they're not going to lie about whether they love you or not. Okay, so if somebody tells you that they love you, then just take it for what it's worth. If they tell you that they love you, just take it for what it's worth. Don't keep badgering them, because if you keep badgering somebody, like I told you I loved you yesterday when you asked me, today I told you I loved you, tomorrow you're going to ask me, if it's going to make me feel as if you don't believe me when I've told you something. It's going to make me feel as if you're doubting me. It's going to make me feel frustrated. It's going to make me feel as if you're belittling me. It's going to make me feel invalidated. It's going to make me feel unheard. It's going to make me feel a whole host of things that are negative. Because I already told you, and it's as if you did not hear me when I told you. And it's as if you don't believe me. You did not believe me then. And even if I tell you now, you're still not going to believe me. So why should I even bother answering you? And it's going to just make me feel, it's going to bring me down. The thing you can do, if you're a kind of person who needs words of affirmation, and one of those words of affirmation is that I love you, I love you, I love you. Especially if you're if you're with somebody who isn't used to that, then it might be nice to just sit them down and say, look, this is something I need to hear very often because of whatever, because that's just what I'm used to, because that's kind of culture I would like to develop in my family, with somebody I'm in a relationship with. That's the kind of thing I just need to hear from you all the time, because it just makes me feel validated in this relationship. It just reminds me that you're with me, etc., etc. Whatever the reason is, sit them down and tell them, look, I would like you to tell me often. And then they're going to keep that in the back of their minds, and they're going to remember they're going to try to remember to say it very often. And one last thing I would like to mention is, I already alluded to it, but I'm just going to mention it again. Even after you've told somebody about whatever love language you prefer to receive love through, you've told somebody about the things you dislike, the things you'd like them to change, you've told them all sorts of things. I would say give them the grace to begin to change certain things and to show that they actually listen to you and they want to show you love through those means. But also give them that grace in a way as to know that they may not be perfect at first, and it might be horrible. In fact, at first it might make things worse before things begin to get better. And at some point, you might think, why did I even begin? Why did I even start this? Like, I should have just left them alone. I should have been doing my thing by myself. Like, why did I ask them to come and stay with me and to give me quality time if they're going to be doing this horrible? Like, the way they are showing me this quality time is horrible. They're just disturbing me. They're wasting my time. I don't want them to. But just give them grace to get more comfortable with it and to, you know, get even better with it and to get smoother with it so that it will be less awkward, less painful for you, etc. etc. So anyway, I'm going to stop here today. Thank you so much for listening. I'm grateful that you're here, and I will see you next time. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, and let me know if there's anything else you would like me to talk about. I would be grateful to receive your suggestions. Thank you, and I will see you next time.